Hello everyone, and welcome to Retro Brick Reviews, where, I'm finally doing an analysis of the 6 recently revealed LEGO Overwatch sets. I say recently with a grain of sarcasm because these sets were revealed like 2.5 weeks ago. But I've been busy and I just didn't have time to make a really long analysis video covering all 6 sets. And then there's the fact that I basically know nothing about Overwatch and basically care nothing about Overwatch due to that fact. So, yeah. But hey, I'm finally doing an analysis video, and here we are starting with the smallest of the 6 sets, 75950, Tracer versus Widowmaker. This set will retail for around $15 in the United States, and will come with 2 figures, appropriately Tracer and Widowmaker. And, yeah. And interestingly, with these Overwatch sets, you can see that LEGO has decided, while normally, of course, with the boxes, the main side would have your main box picture and the back would show some of your play features, on these sets, the front of the box just shows off, I guess, your main image, which here actually looks kind of lame, like you just have Widowmaker casually walking away from Tracer in the little transport. But on the back, you have a shot that better showcases the players included in the set. So here you have much better shots of Tracer and Widowmaker in action poses, as well as the vehicle on a base, the vehicle is nice, and you also get that nice, I think it's like an 8x8 dish piece in bright flame yellow for the base. But yeah. Yeah, so without further ado, this is what the build itself looks like for the shuttle. I think it looks pretty nice. You have some nice curvature up towards the front. The engines are pretty well done. I like the fins. I believe there are 8 stickers on this. You also have a couple on the fins, in addition to the 3 you can see on this side. And obviously the 4 stickers are just duplicated on each side. But yeah, if I had one complaint, it's that Tracer doesn't look too good sitting in the vehicle, but from what I've seen from other pictures, including the back of the box, this isn't actually how the vehicle would look in-game with a person inside of it, and in fact, the set even includes some extra pieces to fill in that gap, which is definitely what I'll be doing if I pick this set up. Moving on to the figures, though, the first is Widowmaker, who I believe is one of the more popular characters in Overwatch, so it's great to see her represented in such a small set. And before we get to the figure, let's talk about the new gun mold, because yes, nearly all of these new Overwatch sets, in fact, now that I think that it might be all of them, well, no, not Bastion, but I think all of them besides that set come with this new gun mold, which you can see here in black for Widowmaker, and yeah, it's pretty nice. You have a stud on the front, one on each side. And obviously, so that we can get a bunch of nice brick-built guns, because LEGO doesn't want to give us realistic guns, because that's no good. But I mean, the build here is alright. I, again, don't know if this is accurate or not. However, what I can say is that Widowmaker is one of the few characters in Overwatch that I actually know what they look like, and I think this is a pretty accurate minifigure representation. The new double-molded hairpiece looks pretty great, with the sort of gunmetal armor on the front to represent a spider. I also like the printed mandibles going down around the head. This sort of annoyed face print I'm not the biggest fan of, but there is a probably better one on the other side that we'll get to in a minute. Legs are basic, but I think the real surprise here is the torso, because, like, how do I put this? Widowmaker's outfit shows a rather generous amount of her skin being left shown, and I figured that LEGO would do something to, PG-ify that, like make the V-neck not go down as far, but they did it, and I mean, to be fair, I guess this looks pretty accurate, even if it is just kind of weird to see a LEGO minifigure with this design. I don't know, it doesn't look official to me. Or more accurately, it does look official, but it just I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I almost feel as though maybe LEGO should have PG-ified the design a bit, because it just looks odd, in my opinion. But anyway, that's Widowmaker. Here you can see a much better alternate face print where she has a cheeky smile and a wink, which is pretty cute. And she also comes with a grapple hook. The other figure we get in this set is the... I don't think Overwatch... I don't know if Overwatch really has a main character, but the character that's kind of the face of Overwatch, Tracer. And again, I think it's really great that LEGO included these two very kind of iconic characters from the game in this cheap set, and surprisingly, this is the only set to include Tracer. I imagine that if this theme gets a second wave, which it probably will, we'll get Tracer again, but kind of strange to only get the main player in this one set. But here we have the best image of Tracer we have, where you can see, first off, her brand new hairpiece, which I think looks pretty nice. I feel as though LEGO probably could have gotten away with them. I know a lot of people for customs were using the Ninjago Kai hairpiece. I feel as though maybe LEGO could have gotten away with using the newer Ninjago movie Kai hair. I think that looks close enough to this, but I'm glad there is a new mold, since it does look pretty accurate. The face print I really like, and while we don't really have a good look at the alternate expression, it's another smile that's just more showing teeth, while this is more of a smirk. Both look nice, though. But yeah, then you have the torso and legs, which have a nice jacket, which looks pretty nice. And yeah. So yeah, and then here on this CG render, you can see Tracer's two guns, which again use the new gun piece, as well as a little lightning attachment coming off the back. Pretty nice figure. So that is Tracer versus Widowmaker, which, well, it's not my favorite of these sets. It is the one I'm most likely to get. I doubt I'll end up picking any of these up, but if I do pick this one up, it'll be this one, because you get two pretty nice figures, two great new molds, or, well, three when you count the guns, so two hair molds, and then you get, again, the guns. You get one in black and two in white, which are nice. You have a pretty nice build, a nice printed piece for the base. Yeah, and it's only $15, which helps. So yeah, Tracer versus Widowmaker, pretty nice set. The next set we have here is Hanzo versus Genji with 197 pieces for $20, and it includes three figures, these being Hanzo, Genji, and Suit Guy, who I actually don't know the name of. I've heard that he's just from like an animated short or something. Anyway, here we have this alternate CG render, which I think looks pretty nice. And just moving on to the build, it kind of looks like a Ninjago set, but better. Obviously we've had several $20 Ninjago playsets like Cryptarium Prison and the Throne Room Showdown, and I feel as though this looks much better than those did, and I don't really know why. Yeah, this looks really nice as a set. The middle section is definitely the best. The sides are pretty basic, but the middle section looks really nice, in my opinion. Especially up top where you have some nice curvature. You have a nice banner there in the middle. Then off to the side, you can see a little brick-built med pack, which is pretty nice to see. And on each side, you seem to have a little catapult where I imagine you could just fling a figure into the air on a whim. Maybe that's not supposed to be a catapult. I don't know, maybe it's just supposed to be, like, stairs. In fact, judging by the blue pin, it wouldn't really work as a catapult, I would hazard. So yeah, it's probably just, like, stairs and I'm stupid. But anyway, then in the middle you have just some black skeleton arms holding some weapons. And then on each of these little side sections, you also have a disc shooter. So yeah, you do definitely get a few different areas in this build to place figures. You have you could place them in front, you could place them in either side on both the ground floor or up on top where Hanzo is right now, and yeah, I can't really see any play features besides the disc shooters, so let's get into the figures. And the first figure we have here is Genji, who is another one of the Overwatch characters, I know. And a pretty nice figure, I'll say. New helmet mold. obviously, and I believe there's also a new hair mold for the bit of hair coming off the back, because that looks to be an identical design for the hair between him and Hanzo. Well, I think with Hanzo it might be more of a ribbon. Maybe it's a ribbon here too, I don't know. But it looks identical, so I think that might be a separate new piece that attaches on the back. No idea what Genji's face looks like, although seeing as how I doubt he has a face in game, he'll probably just come with like a plain black or a plain light bluish gray or dark bluish gray head or something. Doubt he'll get a face print. And then anyway, on the back you can see as the Ninjago sheath piece, the classic one, not the one with the shoulder, not the one with the single shoulder pad or the ZX one. Torso and legs are nice. Really like the lime green katana. Silver throwing star is nice. Yeah, that's Genji. Nothing too complex aside from the one or maybe two new molds, and the green katana, pretty nice. Next figure is Hanzo, who looks like he has leg printing, but I can't tell for sure, but actually, yeah, I can, because he has silver feet and there's black up there. He has leg printing. It's leg printing, I guess. The torso is nice. Face is nice. No idea if it has two sides or not, because none of the pictures show a second side. I mean, there probably is, but then again, there might not be. Hairpiece is nice. Yeah, here it does definitely look like the gold bit coming off the side is separated. Plus, it would be pretty awkward for this all to be one mold. Like, you would have this nice hairpiece, and then you would just have that ribbon sticking off the side, and that could easily get broken in box. See, I'm betting that that's a separate piece. At least on Hanzo. Like, on Genji, it might be all one mold, but on Hanzo, it has to be two pieces. And yeah, then he has a black quiver, dark blue bow. Nice. Last figure is this guy. No new parts here. You have just a Lex Luthor suit print, and I don't know if that is, I think that's the Lex Luthor suit from back in 2012. Probably appeared on a bunch of other figures since then. Face print is just the same as the security guard from the Lego Batman movie Scarecrow set. Yeah. And then the gun is, that's just the classic Lego Batman 2006 gun for the crooks, thugs, whatever you want to call them. And then the phone is just from Friends. So yeah, perfectly acceptable figure. I know a lot of people are calling this guy a throwaway, which he pretty much is, but think about it, this set's 20 bucks. There's no way LEGO was going to put in the money to have 3 major characters from the game, so it was either probably get 2 figures, or get 2 figures and this guy. And I would definitely go with this guy, because he's pretty funny looking. So yeah, that's Hanzo versus Genji. Definitely not a set for me, but it's a nice set overall, I suppose. Yeah, not much else to say. Actually, now that I look at it, it almost looks like, for those little, I guess, flower pots, maybe off to the sides, it almost looks like they're using the new, Lego Star Wars BB-9E astromech headpieces upside down in plain black with no printing. That looks like an interesting part if that's the case, but it's probably not. So yeah, pretty nice looking set. Kind of definitely wish it was from Ninjago and not Overwatch, because I would get it if this was the Throne Room Showdown from Ninjago. I mean, I'm still getting that set, but this would make that set actually be good besides the figures. I'm rambling. This is a good set, just not, and it is something for me, but just I'm not spending $20 on an Overwatch set because it's pretty good. And I don't know, I feel as though this, what I'm trying to get at is that this is a nice set, but I feel as though Tracer versus Widowmaker is a better value, with a better build, and probably better figures. Feel free to disagree, that's just my uneducated opinion. This next set, though, is definitely my favorite, the Dorado Showdown with 419 pieces. This set is also apparently going to be reasonably priced, as it seems to only be $30, which is pretty great. Anyway, this set comes with 3 figures, these being McCree, Soldier 76, and Reaper. And builds include this hover pickup truck, as well as this little build for the map Dorado, complete with a building and a little fruit stand, and even a little piñata, it looks like. Here we have the back of the box, which definitely doesn't work as well here. Like, This side really shows you everything you get. This side doesn't. I mean, I get it's the back of the box, but it's just kind of odd to me. Also here, the render for Reaper looks kind of terrible. And McCree looks really small, and I can't tell if he's walking out of the building or if he's walking on the bed of his truck. So yeah, not a great render for the back here, but it's alright, I suppose. Starting with the builds, for the pickup truck, it looks pretty nice. On the front, you have the small 3x4 hood roof piece with a sticker on the front to create some nice detailing. Could be a print, but it'll probably be a sticker. And then you also have some stickers on the sides to represent door handles. On the front, you have some lights. The 4 wheels have, of course, been replaced with hover boosters. And then on the back, you have, not entirely sure what that is. I've heard some people call it a payload, but I don't know what that is. Probably isn't one. If it is, I don't know. I have no idea what this is. Could be like some sort of bomb? I don't know. Precious cargo, whatever. Yeah, the bed is pretty plain, though. Not a big fan of how the bed has, like, no sides on it, and I know that might be how it's done in-game, but I don't know. Maybe they could have just had it be, like, just tiles on top of that. Maybe they could have just had the bed, like, the outer rim be studs, and then the rest of it just be tiled. I don't know. I just think it looks odd how there's no definition there. Anyway, the rest of the build is pretty nice. You get, for the Dorado main building, you have a large archway that I imagine you could probably fit the truck through. It looks like a couple stickers on the sides, and then up front you have some windows, and a very large window. Inside we can't really see much detail, though we can see a little candle, which is nice. On the other, and then coming off of that, we have this light strand with a couple lights, and what I think that might be like a buildable piñata or something. And then you also have a little fruit stand, which looks fine. Moving on to the figures, the first one we have here is McCree, who is alright. You can see here he has the, I think that, it's not the Indiana Jones hat, it's the, it's a different cowboy hat. I don't know, Lego's made so many that I don't know which figure this is from, but it's a new, I think it's a new, not a new, but it's not the Indiana Jones fedora, it's more recent. Face is only going to be single-sided because of the hat, although I do believe he'll also come with the Dastan hairpiece from Prince of Persia. He has a little cape on the back. Torso and leg print we can't really see, and then he comes with a pistol. Next figure is Soldier 76, who has some nice torso printing and looks like good face print. Best part, though, is the hairpiece, which, in my opinion, like, I haven't seen it from the front. Maybe it won't work from the front, but at least just seeing it from the side, this hairpiece might work pretty well for Gellert Grindelwald, since LEGO put no effort into his figure from the Fantastic Beasts $20 set. Who knows, maybe I'll get this and use this hairpiece for him. And it certainly doesn't hurt that this set is actually not too bad. His gun build's pretty nice too. Last figure is Reaper, who has, like, pretty boring face print, unique looking cape though, and some pretty hilarious gun builds because those are supposed to be shotguns. That's funny. Also, interestingly, this figure is not exclusive because unlike every other figure in every other set for this line, Reaper here does actually come in another set, that being the biggest set, the Watchpoint Gibraltar. However, in that set he is a bit different since he has the Spectre leg piece that was used in the same colors for the Dementor from the Hogwarts Express set this year. And this version just has legs. Pretty similar, but it is technically different. So yeah, that's the Dorado Showdown. Personally, it's my favorite set of the lot for Overwatch. Am I gonna get it? Probably not. Tracer vs. Widowmaker is still the set I'm most likely to get because it's the cheapest, so it's the best one to get a taste of the line and some nice figures, but I really like the building here, and I hope there is some nice stuff to it. Yeah. That's really all I have to say. Like, the pickup truck build is fine, but I just really like the building and the figures. Pickup truck is nice, and it's really well done, but not something that appeals to me. but I hope you like it, because it is nice. Next set is one that definitely doesn't appeal to me. It's Bastion, with 602 pieces for $50. Wait, didn't we already get a Bastion? Yeah, back in, actually only about a month ago, LEGO released a Blizzard exclusive set of the Omnic Bastion, which was Bastion, but orange. Also, that set was like 180 pieces, while this is over 3 times that. And you know, this mech definitely does look better than that one. There's much more detail and much more posability. Why doesn't it come with any figures? Like, I mean, I get that Bastion himself might only be the mech, and I guess you also get his little bird, but I think, which probably should have been a mold, but anyway, I just think it's kind of odd. Like, I mean, first off, I'm curious, like, how does this work in game? Like, you have, like, Tracer and Mercy, and you're just your normal human-sized people, but then you have this giant mecha. How does that work? Oh. And also, like, I mean, could they not have at least included, like, a figure or something for Bastion to battle against? Yeah, anyway, so you can see that this build is a set. I honestly think it's interesting how the back of the box, instead of being super wide like the front, actually just shows straight up the mech. And this box is very similar to how they did the Omnic Bastion box. And this side actually looks more like the back since it shows the turret mode. But anyway, here we have Bastion in all his glory. You can see the big gun on the back. His eye is done up, and it looks like there will be a light brick in there to make it glow, which is nice. Lots of details for the plating, just not something for me. A lot of stickers, a lot of sand green, a lot of pieces put on up and down and all around, some Technic. Looks alright, I guess, just, again, not something for me, but if you do like big mechs like this, then you might like this set. Oh, and then here we have a shot of the turret mode. It can just transform like this. Looks like a big section comes down in the back as a counterbalance against the big gun. Yeah, and I'd imagine that the gun can spin. Oh, and then we have this little build for a bird, which is pretty cute. Like the design. Much better than the very generic creator bird that came in the Omnic Bastion set. Kinda wish LEGO had done a new mold, but I think this is probably the best brick-built looking bird we've seen from LEGO in quite a while. I really like the pyramid piece for the beak. So yeah, that's Bastion. Definitely not a set I'm planning on getting, or even that I'm interested in at all, but it's a set, and I can appreciate that it's nicely done. Next set is probably the objectively best of them, even though it's not my personal favorite. It's Diva and Reinhardt. This set comes with 455 pieces for $40, and it includes 2 figures, those being, surprise, surprise, Diva and Reinhardt. Yeah. First build of the set is Reinhardt's mech, which looks pretty generic, but it's alright. I like the design for the hammer using the big wheel, like that the hands are articulated since not all mechs have individually articulated fingers. Some stickers, I like the pieces for the shoulder pads. I don't recognize those. I doubt that they're new, but they could be. Yeah, I mean, not much to say here, just kind of a generic-y looking mech, but it's alright. Diva's mech, on the other hand, is really good. It's very unique, unlike Reinhardt's. Lots of unique shapes. You have some great pink on it. Looks like the articulation is pretty good still. The stud shooters work really well, actually, which is kind of interesting to see them integrated so well. I mean, yeah, this is just a really nice mecha. She can fit into the cockpit very well, it looks like, and yeah, I like this. This is a nice mech. For figures, the first one we have here is Reinhardt, and here you can see him with his visor and his Sauron-like helmet. The visor is actually just one side of his face print. The other side we can see here, where he has a missing eye and a long white beard. And then the Dastan hair in white. Here you can also see his torso and legs, which seem to be in silver, but with some nice prints. So a nice figure. Definitely the best part, in my opinion, is the Sauron helmet. But he's still good. Probably my favorite Overwatch figure of them all, though, is easily Diva, because she is adorable. I mean, come on, just look, like, torso and leg print is fine. Hairpiece is fine, although I like the shape and I like the earmuffs. But the face print, she has cute little, like, war paint for kitty whiskers, which is adorable in my opinion. And she's blowing a bubble gum. And then on this side, she has a cute wink and a sly smirk, and it's adorable. Oh, and she gets the Overwatch gun piece in pink. I mean, not much to say here on the figure, because we don't have quality images of it, just nicely done, I say. So yeah, that's D.Va and Reinhardt. Still probably not a set I'm getting, but it's very well done. It's a good set, 2 good figures, 2 good mechs, yeah. The last and biggest set for the Overwatch Wave 1, though, releasing on the 1st of January 2019, is Watchpoint Gibraltar, which features 4 minifigures, those being Mercy, Pharah, I believe, Winston, and Reaper, and it is 730 pieces for $90. If that seems expensive, it is, but that's because you get, like, 5 or 6 new molds in this set, I believe. Oh, and something I forgot to mention earlier is that, I believe that the $15 Tracer vs. Widowmaker set also takes place in Gibraltar, because the dish in that set, that's the base, looks the same as the dish piece in this set for the base of this set. And that would mean that the base has WP-G on it in that set, and also the rocket in this set and the transport in that set look similar. So they're probably the same. If you know Overwatch, you're probably screaming at me because that's so obvious, and if you don't know Overwatch, you don't care, but I just put it together. So yeah. And then we have the back of the box, which shows the rocket not launched, which is lame. But yeah, so for the builds, first we have the rocket, which looks pretty nice. Lots of space. I can imagine you can fit several figures in there. Like there you can see Pharah up in the front. You have another cockpit further back, as well as some space in there. Then in the back, it looks like you might even have enough space to fit in Winston, which would be pretty good. So I can imagine that you could fit a lot of figures in here, and that there's also probably some nice details inside. Nice curvature. I mean, not much to say. It's just a nicely done space shuttle, and it's very different from the normal ones we see from LEGO. The side build of this set is this very nice launch tower, which uses a nice amount of the straight roller coaster track pieces returning in red. Previously in red, they were only in the direct-to-consumer huge $380 roller coaster. So it's nice to see them in a cheaper set like this. I mean, yeah, on the bottom you have some piping and some tubing. You have some canisters on the side. You have your launch pad. And on top you just have a little extra bit of a support catwalk with Winston on top dropping a coffee. For our figures, the first one we get here is Mercy, who is pretty cute. She's actually one of the only Overwatch characters I know. Like, for Overwatch characters I actually know, there's Tracer, Widowmaker, Genji, and Mercy, and that's it. And Mercy is pretty cute. Great new hairpiece, which looks good. The head is printed on a black head, which worries me, because that could come out looking pretty sloppy, but I hope it ends up working. She has wings on the back. She has a nice torso print where she looks very slender, and she also has some nice leg print. She has a nice brick-built accessory for, I guess, her healing stick. And yeah, and she also does have an alternate angry expression, which I guess works. Next figure is Winston, the big fig, which is probably why this set is expensive, because he needs like 3 new parts. Not only does he have a great new mold for his body, but finally we're getting textured robot big fig arms. I don't know why, but I've always wanted this. But yeah, and then he also has a brick-built jetpack, and yeah, I mean, when I first heard that they were making a Winston, I was like, oh crap, they're probably just gonna recolor Gorilla Grodd, aren't they? But no, they went all out with this guy, and he looks great. Like, he's probably like, I have no idea anything about the character of Winston, and he's easily in my top 10, maybe even in my top 5 Big Figs Legos ever made. He's just very well done, and I love him. The expression is great, the molding is great, he's great. Oh, and then the last figure we get here is Reaper, and I actually, when I was gathering the images for this video, I didn't realize that he was different in the 2 sets. So this is just him, the image I got from from the Dorado set, but let it be noted that this is not the same figure. It's mostly the same, but the version in this set will have the Dementor ghost tail piece and not black legs. Other than that, it's the same. And I was wrong, because our actual last figure is Farah, who is pretty nice. Some nice torso and leg printing, a stud shooter. The armor is not new. It's actually the newest iteration, and I guess the final iteration of Nexo Knight's armor, but recolored in blue. And on the back, for the wings, you have some skeleton arms attached onto some clips on the Nexo Knight's arm. And then the wings themselves are the large tooth pieces attached to the sort of bar receptacle bits that also have a bar on one end. The face print is nice, and then the helmet is a new mold. Well, I say the face print is nice, even though I literally can't see it, but I imagine it'll be good, and the helmet is a new mold. So yeah, so that's the biggest Overwatch set. Will I be getting it? No, I don't have $90 to throw away on a game I don't play. But this is a nice set. I like it. Nice figures, nice builds. It's a good set. In fact, that's probably the most surprising thing about these Overwatch sets. When I first heard that LEGO was making Overwatch, I was like, oh great, we'll get some sets with some that are great figures, but with some really awful builds. But no, if anything, the builds are the best parts of these sets, and the figures are the only things that ever disappoint. I mean, with things like lacking leg printing, or arm printing, or double molding. But these are still great figures, and you do get a ton of new parts, new molds, and just great designs for them. These sets are fantastic. Yeah. Bastion is my least favorite, but he's still nice. He just doesn't appeal to me, but he's good. Diva and Reinhardt is a great set. Just, again, not going to be picking it up probably, and I hope Diva comes in a cheaper set, because I would buy a set of, say, $20 or less just to get Diva, because she is adorable as heck. Oh, and then Watchpoint Gibraltar is next on my list. It's still a very nice set, just not one I'll be getting. Then there's Hanzo versus Genji. Great figures, great builds, great stuff. Just not something I'm probably going to be interested in. The only two sets I actually have any plans of getting potentially are the Dorado Showdown, which... great figures, pretty good builds, nice stuff, great price. And then the very final set is, of course, well, the very first set. Tracer versus Widowmaker, still not my favorite. That would have to go to Dorado Showdown. But this is still the one I'm most likely to get because it's the cheapest. And it'll give me a good taste of the line. Great figures, great builds, great stuff. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about these new LEGO Overwatch sets. So thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Sorry this took so long. Hopefully my opinions were valid and not dumb. And I'll just be kidding, my opinions are always terrible. I'm just going to end this video right now before I say anything else, because I've already said way too much about these 6 sets that I know nothing about. As a